to the people in St. Louis.
Frank, how are you today? It's good to see you.
St. Louis is trying to win a lawsuit against that man in the NFL. Tonight, we break it down with two guys who have done some great reporting. Randy Karraker, ESPN Radio, and Ben Frederickson from the Post-Dispatch. That is tonight's Cardinal Buick Sunday Conversation. You guys have both spent a lot of time in the courtroom and studied this real closely. What's your first big takeaway from what you've witnessed, Ben?
Well, I think the arguments that are going to appear in front of a jury trial eventually are going to be really revolving around what do the relocation guidelines mean. And the St. Louis side is saying, hey, these are basically a contract. These lay out how a team has to move, and if you don't fulfill all of them, then you didn't do it right.
To me, this thing seems so one-sided, and I know I'm biased, but I put my objective hat on, and I'm amazed at how this looks like a rout for St. Louis.
If you had to bet a Crown Candy milkshake right now, do you think there is going to be a trial?
Okay, this is a big bet, and I think there will be a trial. And in speaking to attorneys as late as today on my way down here, the big thing they want, the first thing that St. Louis wants, is to show publicly that St. Louis was done wrong by the NFL. The money is great, but it's secondary. The big thing is for St. Louis to show publicly and have it be on the record that they were screwed by the NFL.
The legal side of this, the NFL side is going to let this go through a trial and also then immediately appeal whatever happens after that. And they'll try to fight that war and bank that whatever they can get back on appeal will be worth the pain of going through the trial. Now, we'll see if it gets there. And as Randy said, not aware of any settlement talks.
Okay, another question I'm sure you guys are both asked a lot. Let's say you do win the money in a big settlement. Where does that money go? How is it distributed?
The lawyers got to get paid. The lawyers are working on a contingency, and they would be paid handsomely if they won. And then also the state of Missouri gets, I think, a big cut of anything won on in a lawsuit like this in terms of damages in a civil suit. So that's kind of the breakdown. Now, what exactly the money would go toward? Hopefully not the loop trolley. I don't know. I mean, there would be a lot of fighting about where that money went, I'm sure. And I think, it's not like you would get a check. If you were a Rams fan, you would not get a check from the city of St. Louis, I don't think. So that would be up to much conversation. Where's the money spent? Does it just go into the city's coffers to be used on things? Surely some of it would have to go toward the amount that was spent on trying to keep the team in an effort that proved to be rigged from the start.
The most glaring or damaging Demoff quote would be?
Well, all of the fun ones, of course, are when he's calling St. Louis MFers, but that's just more of color about how kind of terrible of a person Kevin Demoff is. The things about there being no secret plan. The emails about how to spin the land purchase for the stadium in California as something that was real estate or perhaps soccer related, nothing to do with a football stadium. Those are the things that jump out. Also sending to the league negative articles about St. Louis while the Rams are trying to get approval to leave. Those things jump out as this being not good faith negotiations for a team that was supposed to be working with this host city to try to find a way to stay.
What about the really nasty things you can clean up the language, but what did he actually say again?
Oh, the document that was circulating among Rams employees before the team left. There was an idea that they would do some sort of a goodbye note.
Yeah, it was
referred to.
Kroenke wrote in the email to fans, right. I love St. Louis, and I'll always love St. Louis.
It was referred to as the Adios MFers document.
Doesn't it irk you that the national perception of this whole suit is that, hey, the Rams had this top-tier clause, they had the right to leave and they left, and St. Louis just looks like some bad eggs.
And I think that's one of the things that needs to be pointed out, and Judge McGraw has pointed that out, that this suit is not about the dome lease. It's about everything after January 12th of 2016, when the approval was made, and Eric Rubin coming to town and having meetings with Dave Peacock, with Demoff sitting in about a new stadium and encouraging St. Louis.
Final thought. Prediction, 30 seconds for each of you. What do you think ends up happening?
I don't think that St. Louis settles, and I do think that a St. Louis City jury will find in favor of St. Louis, the county, and the RSA.
I think it's headed that way. I think we're here in January talking about a big trial that we're all going to be in the courthouse covering, and I would expect the Rams and the NFL to immediately appeal, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Get your popcorn ready.
Thank you to the people from Bartolino's for providing that little studio for us. You can watch my whole interview with Ben and Randy on the KSDK YouTube channel for even more analysis on the developments in this lawsuit. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.